This post is going to be called The Letter. This is going to be a little lengthy, but I want you to listen to it. This is going to be good for you. You know, a homeowner leaves town for an extended trip. And before he goes, he sits down and he writes a detailed letter to a young couple that's going to be watching his house. This isn't symbolic, it's not complicated, it's a direct letter. He writes things about feed the dog twice a day, one scoop in the morning, one scoop at night, fresh water daily. Don't miss this. And water the plants every other day. The living rooms dry out fast. And the patios, the ones out in the patio, they will scorch in the heat. And take the trash to the curb every Thursday night. If it piles up, it's going to rot the house. And keep the garage door shut at all times. Don't leave it open overnight. Lock every door before you go to bed. And if anything breaks or goes wrong, call me immediately. Then he explains why. The dog depends on you. The plants require consistency. Trash unattended will decay everything, and an open garage invites destruction. Then he leaves, and they move in. When he returns about a month or two later, he smells it before he sees it. Rot. The plants are brown and brittle. Trash bags are just stacked and leaking all over the kitchen. And the garage door, well, it's just hanging wide open. In the backyard, it's got some fresh graves. The dogs are dead. Not because the instructions were unclear, but because they were ignored. You know, the couple rushes out smiling when the homeowners show up. Man, we loved your letter big time. We read it every day. We even highlighted parts of it and memorized entire sections. We invited friends over every Friday night to study it. Matter of fact, we debated what you meant by fresh water. We even learned the deeper meaning behind lock the doors. You know, they built a whole community around the letter. But the graves are still in the backyard. And now the tone shifts. Because it's not about a dog. This is about Luke 6:46. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and you don't do what I say? This verse is not gentle. It's a warning to each and every one of us. Jesus is confronting people who knows his words but refuse to obey his authority. The house, that's your life. The plants are your spiritual growth, neglected without daily obedience. The trash is sin. If you don't remove it, it festers and rots everything. And the garage door, when it is allowed to be open and it allows access to it, you leave it open and destruction walks in. The dog is responsibility, souls, marriages, children, witnesses. You can underline scripture and you can still starve what God entrusted to you. You can host Bible studies and still let rot in the kitchen. You can memorize verses and leave the garage door wide open to compromise. And here's the part that no one wants to say. When the owner comes back, he's not going to congratulate you for how well you studied the letter, or how much you memorized, how much you underlined. He's going to inspect the house. Jesus continues in Luke 6 by talking about the house that's built on the rock and the house that's built on sand. And the difference was not hearing, but heard. The difference was doing. One house stood while the other one collapsed. You know, when Christ returns, this is not going to be symbolic. There's going to be judgment. Not for how much scripture you can quote, but for whether you obeyed the one who you call Lord. Calling him Lord while living in disobedience is not devotion, it's deception. And when the owner walks into his house and he sees the rot, he sees the graves, and he sees the wide open doors, there are going to be consequences. He has every right to remove what he entrusted to you. Every right to judge the neglect. Every right to say, you knew what I wrote. The letter was never given for admiration. It was given for obedience. And one day, the owner will come home. And when he does, he will not ask you how well you studied. He will ask you, what did you do with what he said? Peace.